Secret of the Mimic has been out for a while now, and the whole time I've been thinking about all of the characters that it reintroduces. It adds another version of so many of them that it makes me wonder how many characters don't have multiple variants. For this video, I will be looking at the main games to look into this. No books, no films, no spin-off games, so sorry, no 5 Labs at Freddy's. Also, the characters will be organized so that in order for two characters to be seen as separate, they have to have different names and functions. So Springtrap, Trash Trap, and Burn Trap are all separate characters for the sake of this video, despite all being William Afton. Whereas Ballora being redesigned for Help Wanted 2 doesn't count as a separate character, that's still Ballora. The first game introduces the main 5 characters: Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy. Freddy is immediately repeated with Golden Freddy, so after the first game, we're left with Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. All Freddys are made void going forward and don't need to be referred to. All 3 of those are immediately lost when we look at the second game. Bonnie now also has Toy and Withered Bonnie and also Shadow Bonnie. Chica has Toy and Withered Chica, Foxy has Mangle and Withered Foxy, but there are more characters added too. Balloon Boy, who's immediately removed from the list by Jaloon Girl and later Dawn Dinery, the Puppet, the Paper Pals, and we leave this game with 2 characters. Moving on to FNAF 3, we lose the Puppet to the Phantom Puppet. The Paper Pals also do reappear, but they're the same characters with the same name, although you could argue that they shouldn't have gotten this far as they're meant to represent other characters. So we lose both the Puppet and the Paper Pals, but gain Springtrap. As stated earlier though, only for now. FNAF 4 removes Springtrap thanks to Plushtrap, but it does introduce some human characters. The Crying Child, Michael Afton, the Masked Bullies, although their masks remove them from the list, and Michael actually, I'd argue. Then there's just some background children, which, because there's multiple of them, cancels them out off the list, so we leave FNAF 4 with just the Crying Child, arguably. Sister Location adds to the list Ballora, Circus Baby, Ennard, Biddy Babs, Electro Babs, Mini Reyes, and Elizabeth Afton. The Biddy Babs and Electro Babs cross each other off the list, and there's 2 types of Mini Reyes, ones that kill you and ones that don't. Yeah, I'm gonna separate that. Going to keep Ennard despite them being a combination of all the Sister Location characters because they merge into a new character with a new title. Pizzeria Simulator adds a lot. Bucket Bob, Handstand, Number 1 Crate, Mr. Candu, Mr. Hugs, Music Man, L-Chip, Happy Frog, Mr. Hippo, Pig Patch, Orville, Candy Cadet, Prize King, Fruit Punch, and Lemonade Clowns, and Egg Baby. Scrap Baby cancels out Circus Baby, Molten Freddy cancels out Ennard, and the clowns both cancel each other out, so we leave Pizza Sim with 15 whole characters. UCN is a strange case for this list. As I've not included FNAF World, this is the first time Old Man Consequences is added to the list, but the rest of the characters are not new. But it does group all of Trash and the Gang together, making all the individual characters into one title, so I think that's enough to validate removing them from the list. So that brings us down to 11 characters. Help Wanted only really adds Tape Girl, and doesn't really remove any characters from the list, so now we're at 12. Security Breach adds a few new characters: Roxanne Wolf, Monty Gator, the Staff Bots, Sun and Moon, the Wet Floor Sign, the Music Man, Vanessa, the Mimic, and Gregory. Staff Bots are immediately removed, and I think that Gregory being an important child character in stripy clothing is enough to remove him from the list too. Vanessa removes Tape Girl, and obviously the Music Man remove each other. 14 left. You wouldn't expect much to be added or removed from Help Wanted 2. And you would be right, Mystic Hippo removes Mr. Hippo. 13 now. Now, the game that made me ask this question, the whole reason I've made this: Secret of the Mimic. Immediately we get rid of the Mimic, Monty, Roxy, Sun and Moon, Happy Frog, Orville, and Pig Patch. I'd argue the robotic appliances, you know, the Cleanovag, the Digityper, etc., remove the Wet Floor Sign. It does, however, add a lot more than I was expecting, but most fill the same purpose as either being a showpiece or a mimic suit. I don't know if I can count them individually despite their different names, but that would remove some of the other characters if I did choose to not count them. But there needed to be an interesting twist somewhere in this video. So fuck it, we're removing L-Chip, Candy Cadet, Prize King, Egg Baby, and all the other 2 similar characters from Secret of the Mimic. We gained Dolly, and that's only since she had a little bit of character before becoming a mimic suit. We end this video with just 2 characters on the list, Ballora and Dolly, and these characters do have some things in common. They're both humanoid animatronics, wearing skirts that probably don't get thought about as much as the other characters. This was a waste of time.